on the German border. Although so recently returned and now raised to a position second only to that of Augustus himself, Tiberius was not able to remain in Rome. The problem of protecting the frontier against the German tribes demanding his attention, and very shortly he left for the German border. Tiberius went north first to explore the territory between the Weser River and the Abbey, and was convinced that there was nothing to be gained by going farther into the swampy wilderness. He considered instead the region of the Black Forest, where 14 years ago his brother Darius, exploring that region, had suffered an accidental injury and died. There Tiberius now proposed making strong fortification and building a wall to connect the Danube River and the Rhine. Before he had a chance to work out his plan, he had to hasten south to deal with the threatening uprising among the German tribes in the neighborhood of Vienna. This had grown out of a plan of dealing with the Germans, which had seemed good at first, but was now proving to be dangerous. Since the days of Julius Caesar, who had brought back from Gaul a legion of 6,000 Germans, there had always been young German soldiers in the Roman army. The Romans paid well, and the young Germans loved to fight. After the death of Darius, Tiberius had allowed 40,000 Germans to move to the west bank of the Rhine, where they had been given land in exchange for serving in the Roman army. There was even more need of soldiers now than in the days of Julius Caesar. The wars of conquest were over, and for that very reason, the life of a soldier was no longer tempting. No more rich booty was to be gained from conquering cities in the east. It was far more profitable to become a merchant or banker than to be sent to guard some dreary outpost in the frontier wilderness. For the Germans, it was quite a different story. Gave the young German chiefs a chance to be drilled in the Roman way of fighting, and right there lay the danger. After learning all the tactics, it was quite natural that ambitious young Germans should be tempted to practice what they had learned against the former teachers. That was exactly what now happened in Vienna. One of those promising young Germans who had been brought up and educated by Augustus himself had conceived the idea that by uniting several tribes he might form a German empire patterned after that of the Romans. He had gathered his followers near Vienna on the Danube River and were drilling them, making preparations. It was a report of this that had reached Tiberius. Leaving Varus, the same Varus who had been the former governor of Syria, in charge of the north, Tiberius hastened south at once. In Rome, Augusta also was very much disturbed by the news. Vienna was much too near for safety to Pannonia, which was the one and the most explosive and weakly protected spots in the empire. And his worries never seemed to come singly. From the east, too, as well as the west, came annoying reports from that ever-troublesome little country of Judea. Those Jews, thought Augusta, more stubborn and difficult to manage they were than any other civilized people under the rule of Rome. And with less cause for complaint, so far as he could see, every effort was made not to interfere with their temple services or religion. In order not to offend their sensitive feelings, the Roman legions did not even carry their standards into Jerusalem, and little or no notice was paid to the fact that they refused to offer the customary sacrifice to him, the emperor. The uttermost consideration was shown them, and yet they were always on edge. Now they were complaining bitterly against the rule of the Archelaus. Complaints came from Samaria as well as Jerusalem. It would be necessary, it seemed, to get rid of Archelaus, and have no more independent rulers in Judea. Let Judea be reduced to a second-rate province, and from now on be ruled by governors set out directly from Rome. It was now the year 6 A.D. The time had also come for another census to be taken in Palestine, and that too seemed always to be a cause of irritation to the Jews, especially in Galilee, that breeding place of rebels. Augustus sincerely hoped that Varus and his burning of Sepphoris would discourage another uprising, but one never knew. One never could tell what to expect in Galilee.